Hey everybody, in today's video I'm going to be sharing with you a foundation application technique that I use pretty much every single time I do makeup. I'm going to show you how to create dimension on the skin using different shades of foundation. When we are first starting out, we learn to swatch foundation, match the right color, and apply that one color all over the face, but this doesn't really transfer over well to real life. With everything being in 4K and higher now, everything's in HD, you need to create dimension on the skin for your makeup to look natural and photograph really beautifully and naturally on camera. So this technique is going to help you out with that. And this technique can be done with any foundation. You don't have to use Atelier or the products that I'm using in this video. You can use any foundation. As long as you match the foundation correctly to your client's skin, you can apply this technique. Let's get to the video and I will show you how it's done. Let's take a look at Sabrina's before photo. Her skin's pretty good. There's a few areas of redness. The Atelier foundation will be able to cover this. We won't need to use a corrector. In the last video, we decided that number 6 was the best match for the lighter parts of her face. So we're gonna use number 6 just down the center of her face and onto her neck. And we're also gonna use it almost as a highlighter on the high points of her cheeks. Then we're gonna take number 7, which is a bit darker, and we are going to apply that around the perimeter of the face. We're going to use the number 7 to give her a little bit of definition under the cheek, and we're also going to blend the number 7 into the neck as well. And combining the two foundations is going to give us a more accurate match to her skin tone than if we just used one color all over. Sabrina's skin is a combination skin and she does have oilier eyelids, so I'm taking some of the Bioderma and just removing the surface oil on her eyelids and on her skin. Her eye area is a bit dehydrated, so I'm going to prep that first. Then I'm taking another Avene product, which is a lightweight moisturizer. It's great for combination skin and it's going to help to calm down some of the redness. I am using a sponge to apply this moisturizer because I want to make sure I get a nice even layer of moisturizer all over her skin. I will give it time to absorb before I apply my foundation, and also this moisturizer creates a nice base to apply foundation over. I just want to point out my palette before we start the foundation application. You can see I have both the number 6 and number 7 on the palette, and I'm going to give myself room to mix the two colors together on the palette. So you'll see me dip into the number 6 and the number 7, and I kind of go back and forth between the two during the foundation application. I'm taking that number 6, which is a little bit lighter, and I'm just blending that in down the center of the face. Then I'm going to deepen it by adding number 7 into number 6, and I'm going to use that slightly deeper mix of foundation around the perimeter of her face into her hairline, and I'm also going to use it to almost contour her cheek. As I'm going through this foundation application, I'm kind of adjusting the color of my foundation between number 6 and number 7 where I need it. So if I see really light parts of her face on her cheeks, I'm going to dip into the number 6. Basically, I'm customizing the foundation throughout the whole process of the foundation application. So if I notice parts of her skin that are a little bit lighter, I'll start and I'll grab a little bit of that number 6. And if I'm working on a part of her skin that is a little bit darker, closer to the outer perimeter of the face, I'll take number 6 and I'll mix in number 7 on my palette. So you'll be able to see me mixing these colors as I go. Here I'm taking number 6 and I'm just going over the lighter areas of her skin. Need a little bit more coverage down the center of the face, and I want those highlights to pop. And of course, don't forget to blend the neck. It's really important, especially when you have a client that has a neck that is darker than the face. Now I'm going to take MAC concealer and I'm going to work off my palette again. So I'm scraping out some MAC concealer and a little bit of peach color corrector. This color is going to be closest to number 6 in Atelier. So I'm going to apply that corrector and concealer just on the inner corner. Then I'm mixing in on my palette a darker concealer that matches the number 7 in Atelier, and I'm just blending everything together with that. I don't want the under eye to be completely covered with light concealer. It's going to make her eyes look really puffy. So I'm blending that all together with my MAC brush. And I'll take a combination of the two concealers and just use it to either cover up areas that have a little bit of redness to them or tiny little spots that I need to cover up. I'll use the concealer for that. Let's take a look at Sabrina's before and after. You can see her after with foundation and concealer. Her skin is evened out. The technique that we use of using two colors and matching the foundation as we need it throughout the foundation application gives her a really natural look, and we can't see that her neck and her face are really two different colors. It's making everything blend really well and really nicely on camera. However, as much as I like this foundation application and I feel like everything's blended well, I want to bump it up a little bit and I want to give her face a bit more definition. I have my palette, I have my number 6 and number 7 foundations, and I'm going to add number 8, which is even darker. So this is 2 shades darker than the lightest foundation we're using on her. And I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to use this to give her a little bit more shape and definition in the cheek. I don't want to say we're contouring with this, but we are using this deeper foundation to define her cheekbones a little bit more. Make sure to blend it really well in the hairline, in the contour of the cheek, and of course blending it into the neck. I switched up my brush and I used something smaller because I want to be able to get right in there and I want to make sure I don't get any foundation on her hair. So I'm just taking the smaller brush with the number 8 foundation, making sure it is seamlessly blended into the rest of the foundation that we've already applied. Let's take a look at the difference between these two photos. On the left is Sabrina's foundation just using number 6 and number 7. And on the right is the foundation application using number 6, number 7, and number 8. You can see on the right, her face actually looks a little bit thinner because we've created dimension and definition by bringing in number 8 and bringing in that third color and just blending that in along the hairline into the cheeks and onto the neck as well. You can see in the before and after with the final image on the right, her skin looks even, her skin looks healthy, her face is more defined, and the foundation application is blended well. So her face and neck, even though they are two different colors, it looks very harmonious on camera. Looking at the 3 photos side by side, in the middle photo, everything looks great. Her skin color looks right, her face and neck are matching. But if we look to the right, adding that third shade just helped to elevate the foundation application even more. That's it for this video on how to create dimension with your foundation application. I love using this technique. It's something that has really elevated the level of my makeup application. And I said this at the beginning of the video, I do this on almost every single client, and it's something I just do automatically now. So I hope that you will take the information from this video and practice a little bit with this and see if it does help to change how your makeup looks. The reason that I love to create dimension with foundation is that it actually helps me use less powder later on in the makeup application. And I find that when I am shooting in HD and 4K or higher, that the less powder, the better. I like my skin to look like skin on camera. That is just my personal preference. That's my style of makeup application. I have clients too for bridal, as an example, that really want to have that defined look, but they don't want to see a lot of heavy makeup on their skin. So using this technique is a way of achieving that. I can put the foundation on, I can create dimension, I can chisel out the cheeks a little bit, I can define the jaw, I can blend the face and neck together really naturally, and I just have to set with a little bit of powder. And if I need to, I can go over with a little bit of blush or maybe a little bit more powder contour or bronzer, depending on what my client wants. But overall, if you can create that nice, beautiful base where your client's features are really softly, beautifully defined and the foundation is well blended, I find the end result to be really natural looking and really beautiful. And this is the technique to use if you do have clients that have sections of their face that are lighter and sections of their neck and maybe hairline or perimeter of their face that are darker. This is how you're going to blend everything together, especially those of you working with medium to deep skin tones. Sabrina is more of a medium tone. She does have a more tanned neck and a lighter face. You're going to work with a lot of people with deeper skin tones that have a darker hairline and a lighter face. This technique is something that you can use to blend everything together seamlessly so that the foundation does look really natural and you don't have to worry about having a lighter face and a darker neck. This technique is a great technique to practice and learn because it is so applicable in so many areas of makeup artistry, and the end result for me is something that I love, so give it a shot. Thanks everybody for watching, and of course I will see you back here next Wednesday. Bye everyone.